Hello everyone and welcome back to the RMTV Women's Podcast. This is episode 64.
I got it right.
Tom got it right, I actually checked before the podcast.
You said 65 or 66?
I said 65 or 66, so nice to know that someone keeps track of it.
I kept track. Well, it was a guess, but it was an educated guess.
I'm going to start putting it in the description on.
But you've got it on the agenda right now.
I know, but I never put the agenda in the description, so I've done it today, so I've already made the post, so it's fine. Yeah, I'm joined by Tom, by the way.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, Amy's not here. Kickoff question this week.
Go on.
Comes from...
You haven't written it down?
No, because I did the agenda before I asked for the kickoff question,
okay.
so I'm just reading it off my phone. Comes from some fella called Ross.
Yeah. It's a shit name, then, actually. It's
Yeah.
a really, sorry for swearing on the RMTV Women's Podcast.
It's like Ross is probably the worst Friends character, if I was going to rank them, so like...
Needy, clingy.
Yeah. Always wants the attention.
Ross is mixing the show.
Ross is mixing the show today.
Thank you.
He's actually... He's actually asked us two questions. So the first one is, how significant will a derby at Anfield be for Liverpool going forward? Is it something which could happen again in the future, and would it be beneficial if they played near Anfield? Also, would you rather have all sweet food taste savoury or all savoury food taste sweet?
Well, I'm going to go with the second question first,
Okay,
because we've been asking each other these types of questions all week and day, and every time we see each other. That's a tough one, that, Ross. Thank you for that.
Really gets the brain working ahead of the podcast.
It's hard because imagine having a sweet roast.
I love the way that's like the first thing that's put in your head. There's a roast.
Well, I had a roast the other day and I really enjoyed it. And if it was sweet,
you wouldn't
like
have enjoyed
tangy,
it.
I wouldn't have had it. Like, imagine a Yorkshire pudding that
in
was
sugar.
sour. You know what I mean?
Like covered in sugar.
Or imagine a lollipop that tasted like gravy.
Well, I didn't quite think of it like that.
Well, that's sweet and savoury. They're two different types of food.
But they weren't the images that I pictured in my head.
What did you picture?
I didn't.
It wouldn't directly taste like gravy, though.
No, yeah.
Why would it not taste like gravy?
That's like saying, would you rather all your food taste like gravy or all your food taste
Yeah,
like
so it doesn't make sense, because you're basically implying that sweet food's going to taste like gravy.
Well, I'd rather things tasted like gravy than Yorkshire puddings.
But they're both savoury things.
I know, but you're not mic'd up, Ross, so I feel like I'm talking to myself.
This is what's like each week, and I look at you and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah, I've stopped making myself up now because...
Don't like it.
Yeah, you're better than me.
Anyway.
I'm the B team. I would rather have sweet stuff taste savoury.
Yeah, that's my answer as well, because I feel like if everything just constantly tasted sweet, you just feel sick all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like think about the food you eat in a day. If everything was sweet, then you just wouldn't enjoy it, would you, really. You enjoy it for the first. Like, imagine the first thing you taste in the morning is like proper sweet.
Well, you could have pancakes, you could have crepes.
Yeah, but like, imagine it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, I wouldn't have a pancake.
No, 100%. And then the other question, which was, would it be beneficial for Liverpool to? Well, is it going to be beneficial in the long run? I think so. I think just in terms of getting it out there to a wider audience, people know that women's football is a thing. Mm-hmm. But the way that they're doing it's really spot on. Now we're going to speak more in depth about it later.
Yeah.
But I think the way they're doing it's really good in terms of it's a day out, isn't it? It's something for kids to enjoy.
Yeah.
And if you're getting kids involved at an early stage and being like, look, this is a thing especially to little girls, this is what you can aspire to be doing, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and I think in terms of would it happen again, obviously it depends on what, you know, how this one goes, type of attendance, stuff like that. What the club actually itself gets out of it is probably going to be their main thing on their mind. But like, considering it's happening on a weekend where there's international football for the men, easy access for people to get to, local fans to get to Anfield, easy access for people who've never been to Anfield before, can't get a ticket to the men's game because they're in so high demand. You can have the first taste of Anfield, whether or not they enjoy women's football, but then if they've never watched a game before, going to Anfield the first time to experience it probably couldn't get any better. Yeah,
100%. I mean, I remember the first game I went to at Anfield was a youth cup game. I think it was a semi-final and we won. And I didn't know what was going on. There were players on the pitch wearing red and I supported them. I was too young to know what was going on, but I enjoyed the day. I think. I was.
If I can remember.
I think I was about 6 or 7, And it was a day for my dad to take me out with my uncle and my auntie, and just went, right, there we go, let's have a nice day out, show him the footy. And I don't think that's what sparked me liking football, but it definitely gave me a taste of what going to a game's like. Because sometimes you go to a game of football, and I found when I go to a women's game, it's a lot nicer in the stands.
Yeah.
When I'm in the stands now and there's little kids by me, I feel sorry for them because I'm bad in the stands, and I say things that little kids probably shouldn't hear. And I feel terrible about it. That doesn't usually happen in a women's game. We saw it happen at Man United the other week. But I think in terms of having a nice atmosphere for kids to go to, I think it's boss. Yeah,
and then obviously with like people being able to get easy access to Anfield, obviously we play at Prenton Park, and I feel like I'm moaning about it every week now. I'm not moaning because like it's just moaning. I am moaning, but like it could be worse for us. We could be like Everton. Everton fans have to go to Southport. Like that's not Liverpool. Do you know what I mean?
To be from Southport. Sorry, Ross.
He just gets up and walks.
It's 2 digs already. He's doing us a big favour here.
But yeah, I think obviously depending on, it's going to be beneficial either way.
Yeah.
It is going to get more people interested, and then obviously depending on how the day goes, what happens, you know, that's when you'll know in the future if it will happen again.
100%.
We'll move on to the game at the weekend then.
Sorry, part of the reason I asked is because the youth teams play at Kirby.
Yeah, they do.
So Ross just said the youth teams play at Kirby.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked.
Okay.
So I'm just, we definitely can't hear you, so I'm just saying.
Well, it's true. Yeah. It's the whole debate of like what they're doing with Melwood after the first team moves to Kirby, because it's like, well, you've got a perfectly good facility there that the women and then anyone else can use, or you know.
Do they not want to be their own thing though? And in terms of, yes, you want to use Liverpool's infrastructure because it's massive, it's a worldwide club, and they obviously get the funding from the club, I'm assuming, or partial funding from the club. Do they not want to eventually be their own independent thing? And I know that they're under the brand name Liverpool and stuff like that, and there's a certain order that goes with that, but surely endgame for you, is endgame with women's football for you completely different teams and it's becoming its own thing in its own right?
No, for me personally, the end game of women's football is, so if you look at the men's game on a global level, a media level, participation, right up from grassroots up until first teams, that's what I want in terms of like. So I would absolutely love for the women to have Melwood as their facility, because...
So you still want to connect with Liverpool?
You still want to connect with Liverpool, because in order to keep the branding of stuff up, you want that, and like, what are they going to change the name to, do you know what I mean? All that type of stuff. I don't think they'd ever split from the club like that. I think they'd be silly not to, because there's definitely a market there. So I don't see the reason why they would do it. But like, you know, women's football was big before men's football.
Yeah, it was, yeah. It was.
And then they got banned because men were like, oh, it's not a feminine sport. And then all of a sudden, you know, the FA bring it back, and it's like, think of what you've missed in that gap.
Yeah.
Where women's football could be now.
100%.
It could be on the same scale as men's football.
I think it could have even been bigger.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe not, because but I fully.
But you don't know if men's football could have hit the heights that it did if women were at the prime.
Yeah,
with a vocal point of the sport.
There could have even been a crossover. There could have been women and men playing football
but
together.
It's like, you look at...
That'd be really interesting.
You can imagine the first time a woman will manage a men's team, because it is going to happen.
Oh, it will happen.
It won't happen anytime soon, but it will eventually happen.
Well, I think it's happened, just not at top flight.
Not in like top flight level. Yeah, exactly. But like, imagine, for example, in 20 years' time, whoever the manager of Liverpool is, contract ends, they leave, whatever, and they go, oh, here's this woman who's been involved in football for 25 years, but this is her first professional job.
Well, think about it. If you've learned, the only reason most managers are that good is because they've learned through the years. And think about, I think it was Rodgers and Martinez who learned under Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
And that's why they're so, like, they've learned from so many people. If you think about the players who've become managers, because they've learned through so many great managers. All it takes is a woman to learn the exact same stuff, get given the exact same opportunities, there's no doubt in my mind they'll be just as good as any other male counterpart.
Well, yeah, it's for example, if you're going to take Vicky Jepson, Jurgen Klopp, imagine them working alongside each other on a daily basis. They've met before. They know each other, they know of each other, but they've never probably worked together before. Imagine if you put them side by side, what Klopp could learn off Jepson and what also Jepson could learn off Klopp. Do you know what I mean? You don't know where the sport could be, but I think the ultimate end game for women's football has got to be it's just you go on about like equal pay and all stuff like that. Yeah, that's something of it, but ultimately it's just the same attention.
Yeah.
On it as the men's game.
So basically to the same level. We were speaking about tennis before, in terms of that, where there's an audience there for women's tennis that is pretty much the exact same. It's a crossover because they realise it's the height of women's tennis sporting, if that makes sense.
Well, I want it to be, it's Super Sunday this week. Liverpool women played Chelsea women, then straight after Man City play Man United. Yeah. I want that to be the norm.
Yeah. I think in the future it probably will be.
It will be. I think it's just about people taking the rose-coloured glasses off.
It's perceptions. That's all it is. You're right. It is just perception, and as long as you keep doing your thing, doing this stuff, I think it'll get there.
I'll host it.
I think you'd do a great job
I'll be like
that
what's his name? Jake Humphries on BT.
Yeah, Sue Parker. Is that her name? She does the snooker.
Oh, I don't watch snooker.
It's good.
No.
We should do a snooker podcast.
It's just be you talking at me.
Yeah, me and Simon.
I think Ross would jump off a cliff if we did a snooker
Snooker's great. I mean, we'll move on, but snooker's great. Leave in the comments.
No, if someone comments here saying, I'd love a snooker podcast, you're doing that on your own.
Hannah, say how much you love the snooker, please.
Hannah, don't. Okay, so we'll talk about Liverpool played Aston Villa at the weekend in the Continental Cup.
Not on TV again,
Not on TV again, and not on the FA Player app either.
But we did watch the goals.
We did watch the 2 goals.
And we've figured out what happened by looking at the Twitter and seeing different like time codes from each side, because they both are obviously biased towards their own team. Yeah. But I'll let you lead, actually. Sorry.
Well, there's no disrespect to Villa here, but we should be beating them.
Yeah.
As the top flight team, as the superior, I suppose, you should be going into that game and winning it. But then ultimately, the way we've played this season, I'm also not surprised, and it really hurts me to say that. But like, I'm not sitting here shocked that we have got beat, if you know what I mean.
I mean,
that sounds really harsh.
It does, but I mean, you're saying facts. We've won one game, like you said there. Won one game this season in the cup.
In the cup, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Coventry got battered there, and there were some really good displays that day. But look, if you ultimately can't consistently score goals, and I know we came close. Obviously, there was an offside. Yeah. Sweetman Kirk.
Sweetman Kirk got one disallowed.
Yeah, and then Christy Murray comes close to a free kick. But you need to be putting them away. You're a top flight team. You've got good. We were talking about this before. There are good players in that team. Yeah. There are good players in that team, and I wonder if it's a lack of confidence or what. But like, I mean, to be honest, the 2 goals that were conceded, the defending was shocking, and I don't know whether maybe that's just a phase of play where it got caught out again. We're looking at clips from Aston Villa's Twitter.
They weren't the best quality either, to be fair.
You can't see the context. I don't know why Becky Jane's so out of position. I don't know why Fahi's so pushed up there.
Because we don't know. Are we on the attack? Have we had a corner? Like, you don't know in the build-up to the second one.
Yeah.
We don't know the context of it, but Becky Jane's out of position. Out of the centre, Bradley Hawkins out of position.
Yeah, she's covering the far page.
Well, he's the furthest one back.
Yeah.
She goes to make the tackle, misjudges it, ends up actually passing it on.
Yeah.
For the forward to go forward.
And then the keeper should do better.
I think the keeper thinking about it, maybe the keeper comes off a line ultimately because there's no other defenders there, so she's thinking, I'm just gonna have to put it off.
Well, there's one defender, but they're tracking them.
They're behind, aren't they? Fahi's still behind her.
No, there's another one. So the player's running, but she's marking the right winger, or she's making sure the ball doesn't go there.
Yeah.
So she's waiting for Christy Murray's running back, and I think it's Fahy running back as well, maybe trying to get back in position and make a tackle.
So she can't come across to put it off because she's got to keep an eye on the other one. So the keepers come out to probably just put the forward under pressure and to be like, whatever. And in the end, the forward just ends up lifting the ball over the keeper.
Yeah.
Like, the keeper gets a touch. But
they're both good goals, to be fair, but again, in the build-up to the first one, there's an opportunity there. It bobbles around. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Yeah. And I mean, look, I'm nowhere near the level of these girls, and that's the problem. I don't want people to think, oh, he thinks he's better than him. I know I'm not. I'd do the exact same thing, but that's the problem.
Yeah.
I'd do the exact same thing when they and I'm sure you gave them 9 times out of 10. They will just get rid of it. Fahy will just make the tackle and put it out of play, and everyone gets shifts back into position. So I don't want to be too harsh, but look, watching it, and yes, it is without context, it's bad defending, and it's getting punished every time.
I think our ultimate problem is lack of consistency, but just lack of goals.
Yeah.
If your defence is performing well, your forwards make up for it by scoring those important goals. And there's so many times last season where we did get last minute winners because the players are given 100% for the full 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're doing that now. There's no player who can say this season has been, she's been terrible or she's not doing enough. Yeah. It's just we're just not scoring, and I don't know why.
Is that a confidence thing, do you reckon? Maybe
I don't think
we just haven't got off the mark completely yet, and obviously bottom of the WSL, and so I think we played 5, won none, drawn 1, lost 4. We've scored 1 goal in the WSL, and conceded 7.
And it was a penalty as well.
I mean, I think, especially in the WSL, you get 1 in open play, break your duck that way. Because like I said before, the players are good. You were saying some great up and coming talent, and that's what it is. It is really good talent, and I think once maybe they're just lacking a bit of confidence and I don't know. I think
confidence is an issue because I think anyone in the position that they were now, 4 defeats, not winning a game, you're gonna be lacking in confidence.
Of course, yeah.
I think it makes me worried because looking at our fixtures coming up, obviously we've got Everton. Mm-hmm. We play someone else, and I think we have Chelsea and Arsenal, or Chelsea and City after each other, and then we have Arsenal in January as well. Yeah. We're playing the top 3-4 teams in the next month or so. It doesn't look good for us, and no disrespect to the teams that have already played, but Birmingham we should have won, Bristol we should arguably should have won, Reading we could have won. Yeah. Spurs we could have won. Yeah. We could have won all of our games, but we just haven't, and that's simply because the ball isn't going in the back of the net. Yeah. But then I don't know how you fix that, because it's not like we're not creating chances, because we are.
Yeah, I mean, you just need. I mean, like Sweetman Kirk got loads of goals last season.
If she gets a goal,
she'll be off the
she's
mark.
sorted. She just needs that 1 goal, but then it's the thing of, like, me and Chris spoke about it on the Coventry build-up. We said, do you play her, don't you play her? And if you don't play her, she doesn't get the goal, and you're just going to continue in the same cycle. But if you do play her, she could get a goal and kick on a season. But then also, if you do play her and she doesn't score, what would have happened if, say, Kirsty Linnett played that game? Yeah. She could have scored 2. She scored a hat-trick in that 5-1 win over Coventry, but then didn't start the next game.
I think... honestly, I think you're speaking about these hard games coming up. I think I remember watching against Man City last season, and we were unlucky to not get a result in that game. We worked so hard. Yeah. We worked so hard, and like I say, but for a free kick at the end of the game, I like conceding off a set pieces. So
I went to that one.
I know, and it was tough to take, but the amount of effort we put in, you could see that there's something there, and the performance on the pitch was good. Yeah. And I think that's something that you can take. Obviously, that is last season, but as long as everyone puts in the effort and stays compact and works, you wouldn't be happy with 3 draws out of Chelsea, Arsenal, and the other one. Sorry, what was the other one?
Oh, City.
City, yeah. Sorry, it's been a long day. But you wouldn't be asked about that. You'd be like, okay, and we can move on then. it's the other ones that you should be beating. Obviously, the likes of Brighton, the likes of Bristol, the likes of Birmingham. So Birmingham are on 3 points, Bristol and Brighton are on 2.
Yeah.
And Bristol and Brighton have got a worse goal difference than us. So it's nowhere near over. You know what I mean? There's so many more games to go, and that's something that the girls need to take moving forward. Is going, look, yes, we've had a poor start to the season. There is still so much time to kick on. The way that we're playing is working in some instances. We need to be better in this phase of play, when we're doing this. But by no means is it over, and I think you can take a lot of heart in that. There are teams that are doing worse than we are.
Yeah.
And look, you've got to now aim to push on and try and get as high as you can in the table. I remember last season you and Amy were saying that you wanted to push on from mid-table.
Well, I think we both said 5th and 6th in our predictions video earlier on.
Yeah.
But I think that's why the derby next weekend is so important, not just for exposure of, getting more fans and playing at Anfield and all the palaver around it. It's more important that you come away with a result and a good team performance.
Would you be happy with a draw there?
I probably would,
a score draw, not a 0-0, like a 1-1, 2-2.
I probably would, because
Everton are doing well.
Everton are doing really well this season. They're a really good side.
Well, 9 points, played 5, won 3.
They're going to want to come to Anfield and win.
100%.
But we've got to go with the same mentality, because if we don't win that game or get something from it, then I think that just carries on into the next few games.
Yeah.
You're then facing Chelsea, City, Arsenal, like I said, and you're just going to think, oh, we're going to get battered here. Before you even get on the pitch, you're going to think this isn't going to go well.
Yeah. But I think that's a good thing, though, in terms of there is now an opportunity. You get a result against Everton, bang, there's your kickstart. And in that cauldron of Anfield, it's going to be a big game.
At Anfield, in probably the biggest crowds at a Liverpool women's game for a long time.
Vicky Jepson's going to be telling the girls that as well, going, look.
It's not even a case of it's okay if you draw. It's a must-win game.
Yeah, you've got to win.
I'd take a point now. That's because of the spectacle and stuff like that. I don't want to get beat, but it is a must-win game.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you've got to win that in order for the team to gain confidence. I'm not talking about a 4-0 win.
No,
a 2-1 win will do me fine. A 1-0 win.
1-0 with a goal from open play.
But I think we concede. I do.
Yeah. Well, like I say, Everton are doing well.
Everton are really good.
But I'm looking forward to that game, to be honest. I'm looking forward to see what type of performance the girls can put out there, because, like I say, it is a massive opportunity to push on. And then the way you're talking about saying, we don't want to go into these games thinking, we're going to get beat. I think you beat Everton, and then you can go on. You can go, no, we can do this. All right, maybe we won't get a result against Arsenal, but we'll try against you. Okay, and we'll try again, and we'll try again, because we've done it before this season. It's that first win in the league that we need. Obviously, we've got it in the cup, but it's coming up against opposition that's better than you, and beating them is what we need to do.
You need it now. Well, if you haven't already thought about going to Anfield, while I've got your attention, adults and over 65, it's only a £5 to get in. £5, as Jürgen said.
£5. It was very much a script, that.
He definitely was reading off a monitor, but he was saying it with passion.
He was, yeah.
Juniors, which is 16 unders, going free.
That's good.
And I'm sure if you buy one adult ticket, you can get up to 3 juniors in with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's a 3-to-1 ratio type thing. Ross has put the thumbs up, that's right. Oh, he's got his ticket, that's why.
I think that's spot on, the way they're pushing that, like I was saying before.
Yeah. And then if you've got season ticket holders and members, you can gain admission free of charge, but you still have to go on the website and secure a ticket, but you don't have to pay for it. There's still tickets on general sale, so head over there, get them if you want to go. I think it's just a nice, like we said before, take the football out of it, which is obviously ultimately the biggest bit, but it's a nice day out. You can experience Anfield if you've never done it before. Take the kids, just a nice little trip out. And it's also part of women's football weekend. So Spurs host, I want to say Arsenal.
Okay.
I think it's Arsenal. So they're the North London derby.
Yeah.
At the Tottenham Stadium.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So it's a big weekend for women's football. So which on one hand is really good, but then also I'm thinking, how is that going to affect our game?
Why?
In terms of like people watching it, not at Anfield on like the FA Player, or I don't know if it's televised or whatever.
I mean, if you're asked about Liverpool, you'll watch Liverpool.
Exactly,
in
but
my
then if you're
opinion.
just a fan of women's football in general, you're probably gonna think,
Oh, you're gonna watch the other one,
you
but
probably think, Arsenal last season champions, Spurs just got promoted first time they face each other. But you know,
I'll be watching Liverpool.
the more
only.
women's football, the better. Me and Amy will do a proper build-up video
Yeah.
to the Everton game next week. So keep an eye out for that. Amy is also going to Wembley on
England
Saturday.
versus Germany.
England versus Germany, yeah. Unfortunately, I can't go, and I'm really sad about it. So this is going to be a really quick.
Well, she's
thing.
going down. She's got press.
She's
Gonna
got
do a vlog.
press. She's going to do a vlog. I'm not sure what type of content she's going to get afterwards. Obviously, depending on what happens there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, she definitely gets she'll definitely be in the mixer, and she'll get some form of player interview, I reckon. And then
Even if she just piggybacks on the other ones.
literally
like you can do.
just film every other one. Yeah.
Literally. Or you go up, you get a bit of audio. She'll
Just
do
something.
something.
She'll get something.
She knows what she's doing.
So keep an eye out for that. If I can, I will give my thoughts on the game, but I don't know where I am, to be
You're
honest.
either in Blackpool or
Or yeah, I'll be drunk either way, I think.
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
You know, news then. News.
I feel like I should do a version of that, you know,
Why?
while I'm sick. Just
News.
yeah, but I can't go that high, so it'll just be.
Go on.
No, I know.
Just be news.
Here's the news.
Ross got the shivers then. I think the biggest news in women's football this that has come out this week is that Australia women's national team have secured equal pay.
Ooh.
First women's team to do it.
Yeah.
Well done. Very happy about
Do you want to
that.
speak about the finer details of said pay?
I will speak about finer details. So obviously it means that they'll get paid as the same as their male counterparts.
Yeah.
They will also reportedly share commercial revenue and prize money evenly. The deal is agreed in principle and now only requires legal ratification, but I'm pretty sure if they pull out now,
I'll be uproar.
there'd be absolute uproar.
Yeah.
It's interesting looking at the stats in between the two teams. Australia women ranked 8th in the world.
Yeah.
Australian men ranked 44th in
Yeah.
the world. Women used to earn 66% of what the men did, which is like, you know, I don't know what they earn, so I don't know how much.
So that's £66 if the men earn 100.
Okay, thank you. Simple maths. Well,
Sorry.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I think this is boss. By the way.
Yeah.
I think. Look, at the end of the day, it's hard with some teams to be able to do that because
Yeah.
the men are so good. Like, but then the French men's team and the French women's team are both amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's comparisons there in terms
Mm-hmm.
of like the French women's team are really, really top level. I like the fact that like Australia women ranked 8th in the world and the men are ranked lower. That's something you can hold over them and just
It
be
is,
like,
yeah.
hey, look, we're better than you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I looked at both teams' performances in the last like 2 World Cups. So obviously, this year's World Cup for the women, Australia got knocked out in the round of 16 by Norway on penalties. They were quite unlucky there, to be honest. Sam Kerr scars ears, and I think another player misses as well.
Nice.
But in the 2015 one, they actually reached the quarterfinals, got beat 1-0 by Japan in the 87th minute, so they were unlucky there again.
Yeah,
And in the 2011 World Cup, they reached the quarterfinals there as well.
fair enough.
So they've done quite well in all the tournaments, but the men in the last 2 World Cups have left at the group stages.
Yeah.
So ultimately, the women have done better in terms of like competition-wise, but then I also don't know what it's like on the commercial side of things. Like, do the men get more attention on the commercial side of things?
It's weird though, because if you're getting further in a massive competition,
Ultimately, you're the better team.
yeah, but even I think in terms of you know, when people get excited about England, when they get through the groups,
Yeah.
you know, and a lot of people don't care until they get to the semis or the quarters, and then more people come in and more people care, like the England women in the last World Cup. And I think if the Australian women keep doing that and keep putting their faces out there and going, look, we're one of the best, while the men are just, I don't care about the Australian men.
No.
Like, I'm trying to think, Tim Cahill.
Yeah, but does he even play for them
That's
anymore?
what I mean, exactly. So I think the further you get in these competitions is a massive thing in terms of commercial stuff, because people, again, like, you get to the finals of competitions in, like, the Olympics, things that I don't care about, and then you hear, oh, England are doing well in this. You're like, oh, and then you pay attention to it. So it's putting it into people's minds more than the Australian men will be. I don't know.
Well, there hasn't been any really much negative thought about it. All the reaction to it seems to be positive, which is nice.
Well, yeah, it's equal pay.
Equal play, equal pay.
There you go. Then nice. Is that yours or
no? That's just that. No, that's just something that everyone says. I think.
Oh.
But it's interesting because obviously the USA women are in this equal pay dispute at the minute with US soccer, and it's like, I was thinking to myself, well, how will that benefit them? Do you think? How do you think Australia women getting equal pay will benefit USA women? Because ultimately USA women have won back-to-back World Cups, bringing so much revenue, are like really out there in the spotlight. And I can name Christian Pulisic as a men's player for USA. I couldn't name anyone else. Yeah,
no, I agree with that. I think it'll massively help them because you've got you could name quite a few American women's players, you know what I mean? I can name.
What were you trying to say then?
No, and then I realised I can't. Sorry, I just don't care about international football. But they have been in the spotlight. You're right, and in terms of the best women's team out there, they were fantastic. Like, they were the first team that I watched properly, because in that first game in the World Cup, and when. These are like very, very good footballers.
I know they played Thailand, but still.
But it was the way that it was the brand of football on, and it was the way that the speed of football, and it changed a lot of people's arguments, because a lot of people would have been like, oh, women can't play at the same speed, they can't play in the same skill, blah blah blah. They played with speed, with skill. They knew what they were doing. They were coached to the nth degree, which is what a lot of them women's teams didn't have. Who played in the World Cup, they didn't have the coaching, and you could see what happened when a women's team got the coaching, got the time, got the money put into it. You could see exactly what they could be. I think as an indictment of women's football, it was fantastic, and that's why I think they should be getting paid the most, is because they're doing so much to further women's football. They really are, and the same with a lot of WSL teams now. You're watching these players and you're like, these are fantastic players playing at the top level, and you can't ignore that for me.
I think it was Ashlyn Harris, who's goalkeeper for the USA women, and she plays for Orlando Pride as well. I'm not sure of it word for word, but she said something along the lines of, we're not wanting more money because we want more money. We want what we're worth. And like ultimately they're worth probably more than the men are, to be honest. Simply base it on
for the American football. American soccer.
Like the fact that they've won back-to-back World Cups is like amazing, and they were in the final in 2011 as well. So it could have been three. It could have been 3 World Cups they could have.
100%. I mean, if I think about the MLS, I think I mean, look, I know the level's getting better.
Like it's stepped up massively this season, the MLS.
But when I think about the MLS, men's US soccer, it is basically where good Premier League players go at the end of the career. And it's on the same level. It's not on the same level as China for me, but it's around that level in terms of the best players go there when they're no longer the best, and then they become the best again. If that makes sense. And then when I think about American women's football, I think, okay, these are the top level. These are the very top of women's football. Yeah.
Well, and also like they do women's soccer well in America, because for Portland, their average attendance last season at a home game was over 20,000 people. Like, that's amazing. Yeah. The men were getting a little bit higher attendance. I think it was like 23,000 or something for them. So they do get in some teams you do get high attendance, that's fair enough. But you've just got to look at like what they've won in between that as well.
Yeah.
But then also US Soccer are trying to be clever about it and asking for the women's like taxes and stuff like that, and like they want to know. So say for example, Alex Morgan's a Nike athlete. They want to know what she earns off Nike because they're saying, well, you get this much off us plus your Nike whatever is the same amount as this men's player gets.
Doesn't matter.
That's a load of rubbish. You're clever asking for that. It's a really clever way to do it.
Yeah.
But it's just a load of rubbish.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure the women are just gonna turn around and go, you can happily have everything that you want.
You can have it, but we still want to get paid independently of our own sponsorships because we're really good athletes.
Like they fair play to USA as well. They started this lawsuit like 3 months before the World Cup even started. They could have gone out in the group stages, and then they'd be sitting there thinking, like,
you've gone out there and gone, right, here's what we're
but
worth.
they haven't. They've gone, right, we're suing you, and by the way, we're going to go and win our fourth World Cup as well, and they did it, and now US Soccer probably sitting there looking sheepish at some points as well.
I think it's brilliant.
So, I mean, I don't know how much. I think they've got to go to a hearing, which isn't until like May next year, because they tried to do it like behind closed doors, but US Soccer would have none of it. So it's actually going like it's a fully fledged like thing now.
Good.
So
let it be, and put more pressure on the people behind the scenes. In my opinion.
Exactly. Phil Neville then.
Don't like him.
Okay, that's the end of that then. No, listen. He did an interview with FIFA. I'm not sure. I think I seen it on Monday. So it was either came out Sunday or Monday. He says that the Women's World Cup was the best 52 days of his career.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he was talking about management or football and career as a whole.
Probably management.
I'm probably thinking management, but then who else has he managed?
That's what I mean. So that's probably why.
Did he go to Valencia with Gary?
Maybe.
Yeah, not Ross's.
Yeah, so I
they
mean,
didn't have a good time
there,
did they?
I think, look, England were really good in that World Cup, and again, I'm speaking about the USA team. England were really good as well. There's some like Ellen White scoring really important goals, and Steph Houghton having a fantastic like centre back showing. I mean, I know ultimately it ends in a bit of a heartbreak for her, but she was really, really good. And Jill Scott, fantastic in the middle as well. I think there was obviously we know about like Nikita Paris and players like her and stuff like that who were showing the skills in the WSL beforehand. But for me, it was nice to see. Like, I actually cared about this England team, which is weird. I don't care about the England men's, but I actually cared about the women's team. It's
weird because I had the exact same feeling because I didn't pay a blind bit of notice to England men. And I've had an interest in women's football for a couple of years and sort of dropped off like when I left school and whatever. But then when I picked it back up, I learnt more about England women in the space of like a week than I ever knew before. And that's just because you want to take it in, just because something really good's happening. But then he also said he wishes he could go back to that semi-final against USA, and I think we all do, Phil. I think we'd all like to come away with the win on that, because I think ultimately we could take it to the Netherlands in that final.
Yeah.
The way they played wasn't their best, and if they played against, we could take chances against them. But obviously, looking back at it now, Steph Houghton does. Alisson there saves that penalty. Just great save.
Yeah.
It was a bad pen, to be honest. It was really a bad pen. But looking at that squad, if you can remember the starting 11 that was on the field, who else would have took that penalty?
Well, Ellen White got it, didn't she?
She won it.
She won the penalty, and I think she had so much confidence in that as well. Did she get a goal ruled off?
So her big toe was offside.
You know what I mean? So she was on the cusp of getting goals constantly. She was scoring really important goals, and I think you let her stand up and take that. She buries it for me. I know Nikita Paris was the usual pen taker.
I'd give it to Paris. So she scores in the opening game against Scotland from the penalty, really well taken pen.
Yeah.
She then misses 2 more, I think, after that, and she's taken off it. I think much more of a confidence thing, or whatever. But Steph Houghton does take free kicks. She has took penalties for it. She is good from set pieces. Yeah. So I wasn't really that surprised when she first stepped up. But then thinking about it, Ellen White's a shout, Palace is a shout, Lucy Bronze is a shout. Who else? Jill Scott's even a shout.
But then maybe Houghton just thought, no, I've got it in my locker here, and she just went, right, I'll take it. I'm confident here. I've had a good World Cup. I've had a good campaign with my club as well. I'm just gonna go out there and just be the hero of this game.
I think she's more stepped up because she's gone, right, I'm captain.
Yeah.
I've got to be the leader of this team. I'll take the heat if anything goes wrong, or I'll also take the accolades if something goes right. Like you think of like if she did score and then England went on to win that and you get into the final and the ultimate winner, everyone goes back to that moment in the semi-final. It's like Steph Houghton won England the World Cup. That's what it would have been. Yeah. But then it's also now Steph Houghton lost England the World Cup.
But then at the end of the day, look, it was a good save.
It was a good save.
And that's what happens in penalties. That's what penalties are. Obviously, it's massively in the attacker's favour, but when you step up for a penalty, there's a chance that a goalkeeper dives the right way.
It's 50-50 each time.
Yeah, and I think I don't think she can hold her head high there. I think she, like you said, she's taking the heat and she's had a go, and I don't think Phil Neville will even be angry with her. None of the squad will be angry with her. She stepped up, put it one way that she thought she could tuck it away. Massive bit of confidence to be able to do that, and she didn't score at the end of the day, and yes, it's heartbreaking, and it would have been a fantastic story for England women to get all the way and hopefully have a chance at lifting it, but it happens.
But then ultimately because I lost in the final to the Netherlands, and that would have been even more heartbreaking.
It would have been more heartbreaking, but I think they can all hold their heads up high, and that's why I think Phil is saying it's the best 52 days of his career, because everyone in that squad came out of that going, we gave it a good go there.
They got the backing of the whole nation as well. Yeah. It's the most viewed game and stuff like that. Like, it's amazing how many records they've broken.
Do you think Phil Neville's going to carry on being England manager? I wanted to ask you this on a podcast the other week and I didn't.
I think he is, simply because the Olympics is next year.
Yeah.
And I think if he changed managers now, like Emma, when we were talking about it last week, I think he pretty much knows in his mind who he's taking and why.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be really harsh if he turned around to him and went, listen, Phil, we don't really, we weren't happy with this, blah, blah, blah. And because it's then, well, who'd you get?
Yeah, who'd you get? And it breaks upon
who'd you get who's going to be better and could ultimately turn the whole squad upside down?
Yeah.
I moan about England women constantly picking the same players for international duty, but that's a good group of players.
Yeah, they're learning
they
every
all
time.
know each other.
Yeah.
They all, they've all got good relationships on and off the field, and it's like, well, why would you want to disrupt something ahead of such a big competition?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the biggest Phil Neville fan. I've said on here many times that his decision making sometimes just baffles me.
Yeah.
But you've got to think of what's best for the team as a whole, rather than just, it doesn't really matter what Lodden and Liverpool thinks, does it?
No, it's fair. I mean, it does matter. It does matter. It's fine.
Phil doesn't. Phil's
not going to listen to you, but it matters.
Yeah.
Tweet it.
I will.
Tweet Adam.
Does he have Twitter?
Probably. Maybe he deleted it if he got too much stick.
He might have done. He might just got off. Finally, NWSL then. There's no scores because the league's finished. North Carolina Courage beat Chicago.
What are you talking about, Lauren?
Well, what's happened? I can't not ignore what's going on here.
Someone's crawling along the floor.
Sash just crawling along the floor getting mics. So, what happened in women's football, which I think is really mad, players are literally only signed like 1 year contracts.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I'm not sure if that's in every league, but I know for a fact, like, for example, like last season, when we Bradley Hawkins signed at the start of last season, she was only on a 1 year deal. Is
that just monetary?
I think issues? It's more so. It sounds bad, but I think for like some clubs, it's just like you don't know if they're gonna make it.
Okay.
Like Yeovil, they were on. They could have
in
been,
terms of the club, might just.
So like if you sign a player to a 4 year deal, like.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
But I mean, I also could be wrong there because like some clubs do actually have like good financial backing. I don't know what the reason is behind it. But, so, each team in the NWSL now has announced their, like, squad sort of for the next season. So, USA players, internationals and Canadian internationals are automatically given roster spots.
Okay.
But then, some aren't smart. It's weird. It's really weird. I've been trying to get my head around it for days because I was reading it because they were announced yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
So I've been like trying to like officially announce yesterday. There's been talk. So like Alex Morgan still gets a contract with Orlando.
Yeah.
But obviously she's pregnant, so she's not going to play.
Yeah.
But then she ultimately will play to the back end of the season because
so they need to name her.
So they need to give her a contract, which, I mean, it would have been unfair if they said, nah, we're not giving you the contract because you're having a baby. Like, then there would have been absolute uproar. But then, like, players, like, from Australia and stuff like that are, like, given contract extensions, or, depending on what they already had last season, they're given, like, an offers on the table, so, like, they can sign, they can't sign. It's really weird. It is, I can see the confusion on your face.
Yeah,
I'm confused as well.
So what does it mean?
It basically means that they've announced the squads and who has been given contract extension, who's been offered one, but they haven't said
The trades.
No, so trades haven't happened yet.
So you've got to wait.
So you know where I said USA and Canadian internationals are automatically given like a roster spot.
So you need to internationals.
They can still ask for a trade.
Okay.
Because trades can pretty much happen throughout the whole season.
Okay.
Which is weird.
Yeah. So like
but it can. Days. But then.
Not you wrecking the idea.
I'm confused as well.
So
I really
basically,
am. I get it in my head, but I don't know how to explain it.
Do you want to put the article in the post?
It's not one article, it's each individual. You just go on Twitter and all the teams in the NWSL have tweeted a link to their official website saying who's in the squad and who's not.
Yeah.
But then...
More.
So, because there's an expansion of the league.
Okay.
Teams are given more money that they can take up to like, I think it's like $200,000. That's like the max they can have, and then the lease is maybe like 30 or 50 or something. So like a team can choose to take 200,000 and invest that in players, or they can take 50,000 and just invest that in players. So like internationals. So
okay.
Orlando have already signed an Australian international, but you can only have so many internationals in your squad. It's so weird. Do you know what? I'm going to do a video about it.
Do a video, because make sense of it, please, and then I'll watch it.
Because I think I've probably just confused everyone. They're probably thinking, what is she on about?
I reckon you can defo make it a concise
Basically,
video.
they've announced the squads to say who's been given contract extensions and who hasn't. But then there's the whole Sam Kerr debate, because she's been given one, but they haven't said if she's signed or not. They've got round it really well.
So
because she could be going to Chelsea or PSG. But no one knows yet.
But no one knows.
Because you can't know until December, I don't think. But apparently she's told Chicago that she wants to leave.
It's a nightmare. It's a saga.
Because she's not playing for Perth Glory in the W League this winter.
It's a saga.
It is.
Absolute.
I'm surprised I can keep the knowledge, to be honest.
I know.
I really am.
Well.
What do you mean, well? I'm going to end it now. No build-up video this week because obviously there's international friendlies, so apologies.
Obviously there'll be content going out on the weekend.
But there will be content going out on the weekend from Amy, so keep an eye out for that. She'll tweet and all that when it's out. You'll know.
She'll sort it.
But yeah, thank you for joining me, Tom.
No
Filling
problem.
in.
I know.
What a guy.
I know.
Thanks for Ross on the 1s and 2s. Let's hope he's actually recorded it.
I was thinking that before, to be honest with you.
But yeah, thank you for watching and for listening to those of you who listen on Acast. I always forget that there's just people that might just listen.
Podcast. Get a lot of listens, actually.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, how'd you find that out? Even I don't know
Analytics.
that. Oh, you have to show me in the minute when
Yeah.
I upload.
Yeah.
Okay, sound. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Remember to like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And we will see you all next week. I'll definitely be here. I say this every podcast. I don't know what Amy's doing with her life right now. She might be here, she might not be. Amy, comment if you're going to be here next week.
Yeah.
We'll know if she watches it now. Yeah, but thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next week with a new podcast. Ta-ra.